78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. That includes people earning six figures, people with college degrees, people who did everything they were told to do. They worked hard, saved money, followed the rules, and they're still broke. Why? Because the system they're following wasn't designed to make them wealthy. It's designed to keep them stable, barely stable. And there's a huge difference between those two things. Here's what nobody tells you about the traditional path to wealth. The go to school, get a job, save 10%, invest in your 401k, retire at 65 plan. It's not a wealth plan, it's a survival plan. And if you're following it right now, you're not building wealth. You're trading your life for just enough money to keep trading your life. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the slow lane keeps people financially trapped for decades, and how the fast lane works completely differently. We're talking about the difference between working for 40 years to maybe have enough money to stop working versus building systems that can make you wealthy in 5 to 10 years. And if this made you rethink the path to wealth, subscribe to Outlaw Wisdom for more book-based lessons on money, psychology, discipline, and human behavior. Check the links below for the Millionaire Fastlane, including the book and a free audiobook trial. Number 1, the slow lane trap. Here's the math they don't want you to see. The average American saves 4% of their income. Let's say you're doing better than average. You save 10% of a $50,000 salary. That's $5,000 per year. Invested at 7% annual returns after 30 years, you'd have about $500,000. Sounds good, right? Wrong? That $500,000 in 30 years has the purchasing power of about $200,000 today. You worked for 3 decades to have the equivalent of 4 years' salary. 4 years. That's the slow lane in numbers. But here's the real problem. You spent 30 years trading time for money. Every dollar you earned required you to give up an hour of your life. And when you stop giving up those hours, the dollars stop coming. The moment you can't work or don't want to work, your income dies with your effort. MJ DeMarco calls this the slow lane. It's built on time for money trades, hoping the stock market performs well, and surrendering control of your financial future to employers, investment managers, and economic forces you can't influence. You're hoping everything goes according to plan for 40-plus years. Most people following this path will never build real wealth because they're not building wealth at all. They're building a retirement fund. Number 2, why control beats hope every single time. The slow lane forces you to hope for dozens of things you can't control. Hope your job stays secure. Hope the market doesn't crash right before you retire. Hope inflation doesn't destroy your savings. Hope you don't get sick and drain your accounts on medical bills. Hope you live long enough to enjoy the money. That's a lot of hoping. The fast lane works differently. It's built on control. Instead of hoping your employer gives you a raise, you control your income by owning the business. Instead of hoping the market performs well, you control the investment by building something that generates cash flow. Instead of hoping you can work until 65, you control your timeline by creating systems that work without you. Here's what this looks like in practice. A slow laner works for 20 years and saves $300,000. A fast laner spends 5 years building a business that sells for $3 million. Same amount of time, 10 times the result. The difference isn't talent or luck, it's the system. The fast lane has 5 components that the slow lane completely ignores: control, entry, need, time, and scale. Let's break down why each one matters and why most people get them backwards. Number 3, the scale multiplier that changes everything. Here's the number that will change how you think about income forever. If you solve a problem for one person and charge them $100, you make $100. If you solve a problem for 1 million people and charge them $1, you make $1 million. Same effort, different scale. The slow lane ignores scale completely. Your income is directly tied to your hours. Work 40 hours, get paid for 40 hours. Work 80 hours, get paid for 80 hours. There's no multiplication, no amplification, no scale. The fast lane is obsessed with scale. Every fast lane business can reach millions of people without requiring millions of hours from the owner. Software can be sold to unlimited customers without building unlimited copies. Books can be read by millions without the author spending millions of hours writing. Restaurants can serve thousands of customers by hiring systems and staff. This is why most millionaires aren't employees, they're business owners. The 2026 Millionaire Survey showed that 88% of millionaires own businesses or real estate. Only 12% built wealth through salaries alone. And those 12%? Most of them were extremely high earners in specialized fields like medicine or law, making 3 to 5 times the average salary. If you want to build wealth faster than the slow lane allows, your income has to disconnect from your time. That means building something that can grow without you growing with it. Every hour you spend creating should have the potential to pay you for years. Number 4, need versus want and why most businesses fail. 60% of new businesses fail within 3 years. Most people think it's because of competition or lack of funding. It's not. It's because they're building something they want to build instead of something the market needs. The slow lane mentality applied to business goes like this. I like coffee, so I'll open a coffee shop. I'm good with computers, so I'll start a tech consulting company. I want to be my own boss, so I'll freelance. These businesses are built around the owner's preferences, not customer needs. The fast lane starts with need. What problem do millions of people have that isn't being solved well? What's expensive, slow, or frustrating that could be made cheaper, faster, or easier? The bigger the problem and the more people who have it, the more valuable the solution becomes. Here's a real example. In 2007, 2 Stanford students were frustrated with expensive taxi rides. Instead of complaining about it, they built a solution. By 2026, Uber is worth over $100 billion. They didn't build it because they loved transportation. They built it because millions of people needed better transportation. Every successful fast lane business solves a real problem for real people. The money follows the value. The bigger the problem you solve, the more people you solve it for, the more money follows. This isn't theory, it's math. Number 5, entry barriers and why competition is your friend. Here's something that sounds backwards but changes everything. Easy businesses aren't worth doing. If anyone can start your business with no skills, no money, and no barriers, then everyone will. And when everyone's doing it, nobody makes money. The fast lane looks for businesses with entry barriers, things that require expertise, significant investment, specialized knowledge, or systems that take time to build. These barriers keep out casual competitors and protect your profits. Think about it this way. Any teenager can mow lawns. That's why lawn care businesses make minimal profits unless they scale into landscaping companies with equipment, employees, and commercial contracts. But not everyone can develop software, manufacture products, or build distribution networks. Higher barriers, higher profits. This is why most people stay stuck in slow lane thinking. They want easy businesses that require no learning, no investment, and no risk. But easy equals crowded. Crowded equals low profits. Low profits equals staying broke. Time is the final piece most people get completely wrong. The slow lane treats time like it's unlimited. Work for 40 years, retire at 65, enjoy your money when you're old, but time isn't unlimited, and your ability to enjoy money decreases as your health and energy decline. The fast lane compresses time by front-loading the work. Instead of working at medium intensity for 40 years, you work at high intensity for 5 to 10 years. You sacrifice immediate comfort for long-term freedom. Most people do the opposite. They choose immediate comfort and sacrifice long-term freedom. Here's the trade-off in numbers. The slow laner works 40 hours per week for 40 years. That's 83,200 hours. The fast laner works 80 hours per week for 7 years. That's 29,120 hours. The fast laner works 65% fewer total hours and builds more wealth because those hours are spent building systems instead of trading time for money. The psychology behind this is what separates people who build wealth from people who stay stuck. Most people want wealth without changing their lifestyle. They want to keep working normal hours, taking weekends off, and avoiding risk or discomfort. But wealth requires either long time frames or high intensity. You can't avoid both. Here's what you need to understand. We can't. The slow lane isn't safe, it just feels safe. You're depending on dozens of factors outside your control, trading the best decades of your life for money you might not live long enough to enjoy. The fast lane feels riskier because you're taking control, but control is actually safer than hope. If you're currently following the slow lane, you're not behind, you're just on the wrong path. The fastest way to change your financial future is to stop trading time for money and start building systems that can scale without you. Find problems that millions of people have, create solutions that can reach those millions of people, build barriers that prevent easy competition, and compress your timeline by working intensely on the right things instead of casually on everything. The difference between rich and poor isn't income, it's systems. Rich people build systems. Poor people work within other people's systems. Which one are you building? If this made you rethink the path to wealth, subscribe to Outlaw Wisdom for more book-based lessons on money, psychology, discipline, and human behavior. Check the links below for the Millionaire Fastlane, including the book and a free audiobook trial.